So we're doing things a little bit different today. We've got Mr. Wayland Cubit here for my GameChangers interview series here at the PAL studio. A little exciting,
just afro right. Remember, I used to have an afro.
Did you?
I still know how to pat it.
What?
I still know how to pat it.
It's like a phantom fro now. You're like it's there, but it's not.
I still know how to pick it. Actually, mine was probably like pick.
Oh
Pick.
no!
It was rough.
All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. Mr. Cubit, thank you for your time today.
Thanks for having me. I don't know what you're going to learn, but
Lots.
let's try.
I just want to chronicle your life. Let's start at the beginning. Where are you from? Little Wayland.
Little Wayland. Oklahoma City. Is that where we're going? Oklahoma
Is that where
City.
you're from?
That's where I'm from.
Okay.
That's where I'm from. Oklahoma City. Mom and dad. Northeast Oklahoma City.
Okay.
I always tell people when they try to, it was in the late 60s, early 70s when I was born. You can figure that out. and so I like to look at my early childhood development, my mom, my sister, my neighborhood, just the kind of way when I look back at it, we were the black Leave It to Beaver.
Okay.
You too young to remember
I know Leave It to Beaver.
What do you know about Leave It to Beaver?
It's like cookie cutter, like perfect life, standard cut life, mom, dad, stable home. That's Leave It to Beaver for me.
That's Wayland Cubit's early upbringing. Now,
Nice.
my parents did a great job. I know now it was not exactly Leave It to Beaver, right?
Yeah.
I know that, but I was led to believe that it was all good.
Yeah.
It was all good, and it was all good.
What
yeah.
schools did you go to?
Schools, like plural.
Or yeah, so where did you start at school?
There's only one school.
Where? Rogers?
One school. Millwood, the greatest school on earth. I went to kindergarten, first grade, second grade, blah, 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 graduated.
Are you
from
serious?
Millwood. I never went to another school.
Wow.
It is who shaped me. I don't talk about college. I don't talk about any. When they say what school you go to, I just default to Millwood.
Okay, let's talk about that. You say it's who shaped you. What do you mean by that? Like your educators or?
Yep, it was a family. The adults there, the teachers, the staff, the custodians, they raised us. Not just me, all of us. They cared for us. They made sure they defended us. They taught us. They disciplined us. They held us accountable. They loved us. They communicated with our family. They expected us to be there the next year. They showed up for us.
It's important to show up, right?
Period.
Yeah.
Period. It's the number one thing.
So after, did you play any sports actually growing up?
So in our neighborhood,
Yeah.
I can't say every sport, but in our neighborhood, basketball, football, track, all of those things were played. You had to compete in the neighborhood. I did not compete at school. I just competed with all of the athletes from school in our neighborhood and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
I played a lot of sports, but I didn't play any organized sports. Well, I did play Little League football, Little League soccer, that kind of stuff. But when it came to school ball, I didn't do all of that. I was in the band.
Were
I
you?
was in the band.
Okay. What instrument did you play?
I played at the saxophone.
I like that. You
Which
got
means
some
I wasn't
soul.
that-
You got
I
some
wasn't-
soul in you then.
Yeah, and so I had piano as a young. I learned piano from my aunt, and I thought I was going to be a musician. So I went to the band, and I really just like marching. And I like to travel, and I like the drums, but they didn't let me play the drums, so it was.
They put you in a box.
They put me in a box. I can't put all this
In a box. So then when you graduated high school or Millwood, what happened after that? What were you trying to do? Do you have a career in mind or?
Well, I wanted to go to the military.
Okay.
No, I did not. No, that's not true. I tested for the military because I didn't like school.
Okay.
So I thought there's no way I'm going to go to college because I don't like school. So I'll go to the military. And after passing the test in the military, they gave you this range of jobs that you can do based on your score. Score was very low. So the range of jobs that they offered me, it was like cook and like dig holes or something,
Yeah.
It's like, no, I better go to school.
Okay.
So off to the University of Oklahoma I went.
You went to OU?
I went to OU.
Okay. And
until getting on academic probation.
Why?
Because of poor grades.
Really?
Yeah. I majored in partying and sports.
I know.
Imagine that.
I have a lot of friends that major in that too. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. They won't keep you around. So
imagine that.
So I went as far as I could at the University of Oklahoma, and then I went to Southern Nazarene, started having a family, and then I went to Southern Nazarene for a degree completion program, and then a lot of college after that.
So, education's a big part of it for you, though.
Well,
so it's not your favorite thing, but
no, but I think education
just because it's hard. Not that it's not important, but it
No.
can be.
When you have a family, I've been married 28 years, and so we have 4 kids.
That's cool.
4 kids, and then 8 foster and adoptive kids.
Do you really?
Yeah, and so school was in between and trying to raise a family and work.
12 kids?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't make. We're not like hero or anything. Like we signed up. No, we weren't like standing in line to be foster parents. It was one of those things where you look around. There's a need to be met, and we had the knowledge, we had the skill, we had the resources. So we stepped up, and we stepped up again and again and again and again. We just got rid of.
That.
I said got rid of. We just graduated our last niece who lived with us, and so she moved on, went on to college, and so we got rid of her. Now we're trying to do husband and wife only at the house.
Is it weird? Is that kind of weird?
It's so lovely.
It's lovely. It's quiet. Is
Listen,
it quiet?
Can you hear? Can you hear that? Yes. That is an unfamiliar sound
Wait.
to me and my wife.
Silence.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's almost scary. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know. Okay, so the first round of when you just completed your degree, what did you get a degree in?
Well, it would be family studies and gerontology.
Okay.
Family studies and gerontology.
What's the
So
second
there's
word
police
you said?
gerontology. Study of old folks. Study of old folks.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
old
a
people.
geriatric.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So it's police science. It's all kinds of things. Gerontology, family studies. It's all of those things. All focused on the flourishing of people. I really care about people, and I also like the excitement of police work, which puts me in front of people. It's not the same thing every single day. And so it's how you get a police officer that cares about people.
How did you know that you wanted to go the police route, though?
Well, I knew at 12.
Okay.
I knew at 12 that I was going to be a police officer.
Why? Was there something that happened walk me through that.
Well, some things are just
You
in
just
you.
know, yeah.
But if you really want to know the truth.
I don't you? I mean, yeah, we want to know the truth.
All right, lean in.
I'm leaning.
Gunsmoke. Marshall Dillon. Marshall Dillon. This dude, man, he came in and saved the day. It was him that stood in between good and evil. He was a guy with all the integrity, the morals, the professionalism. He was good at what he did. And so I watched a lot of Westerns, and I've always identified with the good guy. I've always identified with the hero. And so there was nothing else for me to be besides the hero.
So you wanted to be a cop?
I wanted to be a police officer. Now, in my community, that's not cool.
Right.
Like in the black community, the relationship between law enforcement and the black community has always been very tense. Very tense. And so I kept that to myself. It was just, I kind of secretly watched police officers all the time. I watched police shows. I paid attention, and I saw where the tension existed. I just didn't think. I thought I could do it the right way. I could do it like Marshall Dillon.
I love that.
Andy Griffin, all of the all of the good guys in the police
show.
narrative. Yeah, that was it.
I think that's really special. One of my other interviews I did with someone as well, with Charlie Ludden actually, he said the same thing. If you're a young person and you feel something within you, like a calling, like stay true to it. Like try to see it out. If that's what feels right in your gut and in your heart, and it's what's best for you, then you should try. Try. A failure is not a failure. Like I think a failure to not try is a failure.
Yeah, there's fear.
Right.
From not doing stuff, and then there's faith.
Yeah.
Right? And so you should always try to operate in your faith. Listen, both of them have an element of the unknown, right?
Right.
Fear is you don't know, you just think this might happen. And faith is you don't know, you just hope this happen.
This could happen.
Or this could happen. And so if you're both operating in the unknown, why not operate in the hope?
Right.
And in the faith? And so my parents were really, really supportive of my hope. They didn't play into my fears. And so when I did whisper the fact that I wanted to be a police officer, of course my mother had all of these natural fears, and yes, my dad had all of these concerns, but they took those to their bedroom, to their prayers. They didn't give them to me to hold me back.
That speaks volumes of it.
They didn't give them to me to hold them back. You're right. I know about them now. They talk about things that scared them and bothered them, but they didn't get in the way of my hope.
So when you graduated with that degree, what's the next step in then becoming a police officer? Like you graduate.
So you don't have to have a degree.
Or,
so you don't have to have a degree to be a police officer, and you just have to have a high school diploma. And so the first time I applied, I had very little college, and I got denied. But I knew this is what I was supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I applied at smaller agencies. I did all this other stuff. I applied at Highway Patrol. I got denied. But I knew this is what I wanted to do. And at that time, I thought there was only one police department. I thought it was like police force, right? If you got denied, you don't get to work as a police officer because the police force. I didn't realize that there were all these different agencies. So I started applying at other agencies. And when I finally got hired, I got hired at the Guthrie Police Department. Worked there for a year and a half. I felt like that was too small. I needed bigger. Okay. I got hired to the Moore Police Department. I worked there for a year and a half. I loved both of these. Just patrol.
Yeah.
Just patrol. And thought that was not big enough. And finally, I got Oklahoma City in 1999.
Okay.
In 1999.
And so then how, like you're kind of the face of the FACT program, right?
Kinda.
Yeah, a little bit.
I think the kids and the officers, but I'm the name behind it.
Shout out to all the FACT people because they're amazing. Anyways, you're appreciated, and the work that you do is very important.
They care. They really, really care. That's what makes
it's evident.
Yeah, they care.
So, not to diminish their role at all. I just want to talk about though how you got there. Was FACT already an established program? You started it, right?
What?
Clarify that for me because I'm not exactly sure. I'm new to Oklahoma. I got to learn these things.
Yeah. It sounds like I did something really, really big, but some things. Again, when you operate in your faith and not your fear. In fact, I was with Rabbi Goodman this week.
Okay.
It was Rabbi Goodman. He was doing a food giveaway, and I thought he said something that was really powerful.
Okay.
He had a big semi, and he was giving away food to every drop car that came by, filling them up, no matter how many families they had, just filling them up. And it almost seemed as though the line wouldn't end, and it almost seemed as though the food wouldn't end. It was just, he was feeding 5,000, right? It just looked that way. Modern day feeding 5,000.
Yeah.
One of the volunteers runs up to Rabbi as he and I are talking, and she said, "Rabbi, how did you how do you do this? How do you, every so often you come up with all this food and you get the word out and all these people show up. How are you doing this? How are you able to do this and manage a ministry and do all the stuff that you do? How are you able to feed this many people? And he just simply said this. He said, if you care, if you really care, your heart will find opportunities to get the job done. He said, I really care.
I totally subscribe to that.
I really care, right? And so I really care about this community. And I really want to reject the idea, back then, I wanted to reject the idea, boys will be boys, boys have to get to this mischief, boys will be boys. But the reality is, boys will be men someday.
Right.
Right? And so we want to instill the kind of character, the morals, the ethics, the values that we want out of our men when they're boys.
Right. It's hard to unlearn habits as a grown person. Right. It's hard. It becomes a part of who you are, it becomes part of your character. Yeah. That's very difficult to change.
Right. Yeah. So we want to build
proactive.
We want to build a community that we can all be proud of. We want to build a community that we can lean on when we're older. And so I invest in our future constantly. Why? Because I really, really, Rabbi Goodman, care. I really care. I really do.
So that's why you started FACT?
Well, it was an assignment. Don't get me wrong. It was an assignment. The police chief said, hey, I know you're working undercover. I see your work in the community. You're respected at the police department. You arrest a lot of people, but you're also feeding people. You are doing investigations, but you're also out doing outreach in the community. What's going on here? And I said, well, I care, basically. Yeah. And he said, well, why don't you come in and try to do this? I want to get kids. I want to reduce the threat of gangs for our kids. I want them to go back to school. I want them to, what would you do? And so I prayed about it, and FACT program was born. But not just because of my whole work, it's because I was able to sell the vision to community members, to faith-based organizations, nonprofits, and then our command here at the police department got behind it. And all the heavy lifting was done by people much smarter than me. I just brought the passion, the will, and the care for people.
That's amazing how all these working parts come together to provide like a tremendous service to our community.
Oh yeah.
And I think that for me, it's really like inspiring, but also hopeful, right? Like I think there's a lot of negativity that is in the world today, and so it can be disheartening at times. But then even those like little wins with the kids can be really powerful and can just remind you, this is why I do what I do.
But you got to remember that, and I try to tell the people that work around me, the people that work for me, the kids we mentor, their family members, we operate in this, is that yes, everybody has value, and every single person is the solution to somebody else's problem.
Yeah. Everyone has something unique to bring.
You have something to bring too. And so you don't know, as you do your day-to-day, you don't know whose solution you're going to be. But you walk around knowing that you're the solution. It changes the way you walk.
True.
When you know that somebody here needs me.
You're empowering somebody.
Somebody here needs me.
Some self-value there. That's incredible.
Right. Now wait. I have needs too. And the solution is walking right here in this room. Right? I just need to talk to them. I just need to connect with them. I need to share my heart,
you have to be vulnerable too.
I have to be exactly who I am, because I don't want somebody else's solution. Right? If I'm being a cheap version of myself, I end up with somebody else's solution. I want my solution. Right? So I got to be authentic, 100% myself.
And that's
I got to
scary.
let people be 100% themselves.
Yeah.
Right.
I love that.
Right.
Man, could we mic drop on that one? That was good. That was a really good one.
No, it's true. It's true. I mean, that's the way I operate.
So I think we've only got maybe 10 more minutes. So
10 more minutes.
We're doing a time check-in. But so let's talk about what is FACT. So I guess kind of tell us what FACT is, how important it is to the community, and then what you've done after FACT.
Well, yeah, so I'm raising kids, raising family, doing all that. But FACT basically is mentoring law enforcement, police officers, full-time police officers to inner city youth. And all the things that do. So FACT has probably 8 or 9 different programs, and that's really creating platforms so that we can connect with kids and their families, right? It stands for Family Awareness and Community Teamwork. We want to make families aware that we care, what the dangers are for kids out there in the world, and we want to do it as a community and as a team.
I think it's important you target the families too, because a strong family unit really has the ability to influence the trajectory of a young person's life.
And we've seen where young people go back and change the trajectory of their family's life because they're connected to something positive, something that's never been seen in their family before, right? A positive, caring adult. And so through all of our programs, here's the 3 things. These are my values. This is what I try to exemplify to the staff. And maybe we don't have it written on the wall, but I display it, and I try to display it consciously, very intentionally, is 3 things. We need to add value to people. Value people, 1. 2, believe in what they can become. Believe in what they can become. Forget what you're seeing right now, because we're all on our way of becoming a better version of ourselves, right? So especially when you're looking at youth, you're looking at teenagers, you're looking what we see right now.
Yeah, it's not probably who they're going to be.
It's not even close.
5 years.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
So what is it you believe they can become, and believe it. Act like it. And then love people unconditionally. Love people.
That's hard.
Period. Not comma. Love people, period.
So Bob Goff actually talks a lot about that too.
Yes, he does.
And I find it really powerful. No matter what denomination you are, the message is clear. Choose love. And when you're becoming love, it's incredibly challenging because you're going to be forced to love and have grace for people that maybe you wouldn't choose to love and have grace for.
Right.
But that's the point.
So in this business, in the business that we do in PAL, that we do in all of our outreach, if you're mentoring, you're doing all that kind of stuff, if you have the number 3 rule, like if you love people, period, unconditionally, you got to recognize this. They're going to disappoint you.
Word. Yes. yes, it's true.
They're going to upset you. They're going to tick you off. But because I put a period, not a comma, there's no condition attached to the fact that I love them. And that means that it doesn't change the behavior. It doesn't change the way I treat them.
Right. Redemption over cancellation.
Take the camera off me, put it on you. That's right.
You make a mistake, you're not canceled out. We all make mistakes. We're human.
Yes.
When I was 15, 16 years old, I wasn't the best version of me. Probably still not. We're all on our journey. But dang.
How many different ways can you say you made a mistake, you are not the mistake? You made a mistake. And the consequence, I will go. I'm not going to
define you.
I'm not going to keep the consequence from you, but I'll be here with you through the consequence.
It's powerful.
No, it's the love people, period, not the love people, comma. Comma means there's other stuff behind. No
conditions.
No.
No exceptions.
That's it.
Just full stop, period, the end. Love
That's
people.
it. Right.
I know, I love that.
Right.
I think that's really powerful.
Right. And you have to hold them accountable or it's not love.
I know. Tough love hurts.
You got to hold them accountable.
It hurts.
Right.
But it's needed, especially as a young person. Young people like structure. They thrive in that. And especially the young people that we work with too, but on the other side of that, right? So not just like making a mistake, but lifting them and praising when they do something great, when you're proud of them. That is an awesome thing to witness in a young person. When you say, I'm proud of you, that's cool.
Right. Proud of them, and then you got to tell them you're proud of them, but another thing that I've learned in the mentoring world, and I got several tricks, but we don't have time to talk about it. But here's a trick. If you see a kid out there, you see the potential, they have not made you proud yet, but you believe in what they become, one last P word, pursue. Pursue them. Tell them in so many different ways that you want to be involved in their life. Pursue. There's nothing better than knowing that somebody wants you in their life. Like, be the one person that says, I cannot wait to see you. Are you coming back next week? Where can I find you at? Oh, there's something else about you that I just got to know. I don't feel like I got the whole story today. I will be pursuing you next week. Where were you last week? I missed you. My week was not complete.
I know.
Pursue.
That's huge for a young person. It's huge. It might seem like minute or very minimal effort really on our behalf, but it's intentional effort. It's intentional to make that conscious decision to observe, I think being aware of the young person, and they're not going to just come out and tell you all the things. Nope. You got to read between the lines. I mean, even sometimes I'm at a loss for words on how I'm feeling and how to articulate all of that. So when you're a young person trying to process your feelings and all your hormones and all the other things going on, it can be hard to navigate that.
Even as an adult.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's hard.
Right.
So I think when you buy into the young person and you take time to value them and to show that you care about them, they do that like tenfold to you.
Yes.
They'll run through a wall for you if required.
They will disappoint you even though they don't want to.
Right.
Like they will be upset at themselves for letting you down. But you got to be there. You got to show up. Number one rule: show up. Be present. Be there for their wins. Be there for their losses. Be there for their challenges. And then, if you don't see enough challenge in their life, push, challenge them, stretch them. Believe in what they can become.
So, for any young people that may be watching this video, what sort of last tidbit of advice would you have for a young person coming out of Northeast Oklahoma City? Like, what would you tell them?
Get out of yourself, right? Your problems, right, are so easy to push upon your mom and them, your daddy and them, your neighborhood, and them. Really, when I dissect it all, most of my problems have been because I was so concerned about myself more than others, right? Put others first. Because all of our problems are we're trying to please ourselves. Real leaders, great leaders, sacrifice what they want for what other people need on a consistent basis, over and over and over again. And I am my happiest. The happiest people on earth are living like this. Their hands are open because they're serving, right? People that are like this, they're not receiving anything.
Not giving anything either,
yeah,
that's for sure.
But they ain't giving anything either, right? Right? And so your happiness depends on how much you serve others.
I think that's an awesome point. Actually, I was talking to Lieutenant Hernandez in our POW unit. We were talking about that today as well.
He's the best.
Yeah,
he naturally does it. Yes, he's the best.
And how that can sort of really change like an entire narrative, really. It changes from almost like a negative connotation to a positive when you're like, what can I do for you? Or how can I serve you? And I promise, like, you will reap what you sow. It comes back to you.
I hear so many kids from the past that are adults now that we've mentored, and they, why did you come to FACT? Why did you hang with FACT? Why do you care about this officer or that officer so much? And they almost consistently say, it's because they did something they didn't have to for me. They don't realize I have to do it. I have to do it. Like, I have to serve. It's part of my DNA, and so they will always remember how you made them feel. Everybody does. Not exactly what you did for them.
Maya Angelou said that. I think
Maybe.
That's a Maya Angelou quote.
I probably messed it up so bad that it has to be a Wayland Cubit quote. Right? I don't know. I don't know.
No, they might not remember what you did, but they'll remember how you made them feel.
That's right.
Something like that.
That's right. There you go.
Yeah, but I think we're out of time. But I just really wanted to say thank you so much. We might have to do a part 2 because I just like talking to you so much.
Let's do it.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to come out here and have a little lunch and check out the POW studio.
All right, let's go care about somebody.
All right, we're out. Bye.
Bye.